The State Department has ordered non-emergency personnel to evacuate the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, and it also issued a do-not-travel advisory to the country of Lebanon. That could be the latest step ahead of a possible large-scale military action against Iran. U.S. and Iranian officials are set to meet in Geneva on Thursday in a last-ditch attempt to avoid a conflict. According to the New York Times, President Trump told advisors that if diplomacy or any initial targeted U.S. attack does not result in Iran giving up its nuclear program, Donald Trump will consider a much bigger attack in the coming months aimed at toppling Iran's regime. Joining us, MS Now military analyst, retired General Barry McCaffrey. General, from all the public reporting that's out there and the rhetoric from this administration, what do you believe is the actual intention with Iran? Do you believe that Donald Trump does want to initiate an attack?
Well, I think what he wants is to get a definitive response out of the Iranians by Thursday, saying they will back off and do zero enrichment of uranium. It's unlikely that the Ayatollah, at age 86, having spent much of his last 30 years pouring billions of dollars into this program, is going to agree to that. So the thinking currently is, with a massive U.S. military presence in the region, it's not just the two carrier battle groups, it's 50 some odd U.S. fighter aircraft of the Air Force. It's dozens of refueling aircraft. We've moved a lot of THAAD and Patriot missile batteries in to protect our 8 permanent bases in the region with 30,000 U.S. troops. So I think it's a war that, on the verge of war, where Trump doesn't want war, the Iranians don't want war, the U.S. Arab allies don't want war, but that's likely to be the outcome.
Do you believe it's a wait until Thursday sort of thing? The State of the Union is tomorrow. Do you think that might factor into Donald Trump's decision-making?
Who knows? To some extent, one of the problems we've got in national security now is we're seeing government by whim, government by decree, people responding to extraneous events that may drive us in the wrong direction. Now, having said that, there's no question in my mind, Iran is in a weakened state. They murdered 7,000 of their own citizens. The demonstrations are still ongoing, to include in the capital. They were grievously damaged by the 12-day war 8 months ago. And it's a brutal regime where we really cannot afford to see them as a nuclear power. So it's a real dilemma. The problem is, at the end of the day, the only way to stop their nuclear program is arms control inspectors on the ground. And the current course of action isn't likely to deliver that.
I guess the question I have is, even if the U.S. were successful in removing the regime, it is a heavily armed and very powerful military. And how does the U.S. deal with that? How does the population deal with that? It seems like it's a pretty big variable. Have you gotten any indication from this administration that they've taken that into consideration?
Well, I think you're asking the prime question. You know, if you bring down the Ayatollah and this corrupt theological dictatorship, what's next? It's probably some general in the RGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, who will take over, who is likely to be an ideologue also, and to control the internal security forces. And they're willing to use incredible levels of brutality against their own people. And by the way, it's an economic basket case to boot, never mind the terrible suppression of women, of university students. So this is a problem that won't be resolved by military force. I think the Trump administration is actually trying to use it as part of their diplomatic approach, but who knows whether this will work. He can't leave that military force there very long. It's huge, it's expensive, it's difficult to keep on station. So we're approaching a decision clearly in the next month.
All right, General Barry McCaffrey, thank you, as always.